Welcome back to Wave Docker, Film Review Friday, episode 20, I think. I think we've gotten there. Like, subscribe, let me know what movies you watch in the comment section down below. First up, The Apartment by Mr. Billy Wilder. This movie was placed into my brain a few months ago when I was watching like a TikTok. It's like one of like the sharpest scripts ever. And yeah, I mean, this was just incredibly witty, incredibly smart, incredibly fun. Jack Lemmon is remarkably charming. And it's just a really fun premise, a guy who's kind of trying to make his place in the corporate cookie cutter world. And he's trying to, elevate himself and his standing. And by doing that, in doing that, he's like letting out his apartment to his superiors so they can have, their affairs and, sleep with other women. And then eventually he begins to fall for a woman who is, part of those affairs, and it just kind of all unravels from there. But it's just incredibly smart, incredibly fun, very cozy. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of the best films of the 20th century and maybe of all time. I really loved it. In the Mood for Love by Wong Kar-wai, which I feel like, yeah, I want to watch this. There's a lot of stuff that I want to watch by him. I did a little review. That era has passed. Nothing that belongs to it exists anymore. Honest, tender, delicate, and cruel. God, this is wonderful. The simple element of not showing us their spouses and allowing us to experience their connection without it feeling forbidden is genius. Their insistence on not being seen with one another but never leaving the other side is so powerful. This cuts deep, and I hope I never have to live like them. Yeah, I mean, this was remarkably. This was remarkable. It was great. It was just so, like I said, it's just so tender and so. Nobody yells. Nobody gets upset. If they do, it's with themselves, and it's just kind of, they contain it, and they just have this remarkable sadness about their condition and kind of where they stand with one another and with other people in their lives. A point that I want to kind of like drive through is there's a scene when they're kind of walking home with one another in the rain, and they both kind of insist that the other goes ahead so they're not seen with one another, but then instead they just kind of stay with one another. I think that's just so powerful, and you kind of see that with a lot of films about this sort of thing where it's an affair, a forbidden love, where they're like, oh wait, they're kind of jumping through hoops to not be seen with one another because they know that what they're doing is wrong, but they never really go through with them. They just end up staying with one another. I think that's just so powerful and so poignant. And yeah, I mean, this is just a classic. Everybody loves this movie. Really great. I rewatched Inherent Vice. I watched this for the first time in January, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. I think it's really underrated in the grand scheme of PTA's filmography. Pancakes aren't quite as good as Mothers, but what I really go for here is the respect. This is not getting as much attention as it deserves. Probably shout out to my second favorite PTA feature after this rewatch. Such a mesmerizing atmosphere. Johnny Greenwood cooking as always. Phoenix is incredible as Doc. Would be my favorite performance of his. Underrated comic actor. And I love that he has an imaginary friend/narrator. God, it's so funny. Far and away my favorite Josh Brolin performance. Love him in anything, one of my guys, but Lieutenant Detective Bigfoot Bjornson is my goat. Deep throating a chocolate banana while Doc looks in horror is peak. Catherine Waterston is downright hypnotizing as Shasta is so beautiful, so enchanting. Love her. Martin Short with a hilarious heat check. The plot from the jump is so confusing. Be it the ride, the Paul Thomas Anderson wave. I guarantee you'll like where you end up. He is the best in the game. Give me one battle after another right fucking now. Yeah, I mean, one battle after another is coming out in like a month and a half. I love this movie. I think it's just so funny. Honestly, I think it's probably, Boogie Nights is hilarious. I think Licorice Pizza is hilarious, but there's just so many just different bits and deliveries and performances in this that crack me up. And it's just really, Josh Brolin just makes the movie for me. He is just so witty. Like, as soon as he shows up in the afro and the sunglasses in that commercial, he's like, "What's up, Doc?" And then he shows up again at the sex store or whatever. He's like, "What's?" I think he's so funny. Phoenix is incredible. Everybody's just awesome. And I love the atmosphere and the feel, the score, the soundtrack. This is awesome. Watch it. It's on HBO Max. It's awesome. It really gets overshadowed by, a tremendous filmography by PTA. I watched 27 Dresses. I saw a clip from this a few months ago by Anne Fletcher. I'm curious what else she's done. Oh, The Proposal. Oh, Hocus Pocus 2. Okay, I don't really want to watch any of these. I saw a clip from this. It's like when they're singing Benny and the Jets. It's just really charming. James Marsden is awesome, and Katherine Heigl is really pretty. I like her. I think she's really fun. Yeah, this is just a cute little rom-com with some fun scenes, and I felt that, like some rom-com scripts and like screenplays and whatever, like premises I find a little preposterous, and like while this is, obviously there's some elevated realism in this, but I think this is just really smart. You know, you get a girl who loves going to weddings, who loves these like little columns about weddings, and she meets this guy at a wedding who's like curious about it, and he ends up being like, I thought it was just really clever, and the way everything ties together was really smart and fun, and I enjoyed it. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Rat and Stacy now having a passionate love affair, but still haven't gone all the way. Phoebe Cates, just give me one chance, please. Yeah, oh my god, dude, Phoebe Cates in this movie is fucking smoking hot. Judge Reinhold is really great in this. So is Sean Penn. This is just really fun. You know, one of those classic, you know, stoner high school hangout movies, a la, you know, Dazed and Confused, American Graffiti, Licorice Pizza. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think I prefer Dazed and Confused, but this was still really fun. Judge Reinhold's really funny. Just like obviously the scene with the pirate hat, like he's working at the fish and chips place, and when he chews out the guy, he's like saying, "This isn't the best breakfast I ever had," and he gets mad. But yeah, I mean, Phoebe Cates, dude, oh my god, she's smoking hot in this movie. Jesus, dear Lord. Amy Heckerling, I wonder what else she's made. Oh, Clueless. That's fun. But yeah, I mean, Fast Times, it's a classic. Everybody loves Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I rewatched Fantastic Four First Steps. Charming, stylish, cosmic, and epic. Startling, stylish, cosmic, epic, and weird. God, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I talked about this last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago. This is awesome. I just really, 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 really love this movie. It delivered my favorite Marvel group really well to the screen. They kind of, you know, feel like a family. They have this sort of oddness around them. I feel like they have a big point of contention is Pedro Pascal's performance as Reed Richards, and on second watch, I just think he really does it. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm just watching Reed Richards on the screen, the way he kind of alters his inflection and his tone compared to, you know, kind of his standard performance, you know, kind of, you know, like, you know, Joel or Din Djarin or, you know, like he feels distinct from his character Mysterious and Eddington. Like he kind of feels like Reed Richards. Like he has this kind of, like I said, tenderness and kind of a quaint awkwardness. Yeah, I mean, I love Reed Richards, but I think the standout to me is Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. I thought he's just so incredible and charismatic and funny, and his relationship with Ben Grimm, like Evan Moss Backrack is incredible. Vanessa Kirby is probably the best performance in this. I love this movie. I thought they really landed the plane with this, and I loved it. Wet Hot American Summer, by David Wayne. What else did David Wayne make? Oh, no shit, they came together. Okay, well, this guy's fucking incredible then. Yeah, dude, holy shit, this movie was so funny. I remember watching a podcast with Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler. It was Amy Poehler's podcast. It was Good Hang. And they were talking about this summer that they spent filming this, where they were just kind of all living with each other and just kind of being friends with another in summer camp. And dude, this was just such an incredible movie. It's such an incredible spoof comedy. Like, there's just some bits in this that I just died laughing. Like, there's the two guys. It was like hold on, what was his name? Yeah, JJ. Yeah, the long hair guy, and him. No, but whatever. JJ and his friend, they were like watching Bradley Cooper and the other guy, like, you know, getting, you know, I forgot what they're doing, but there's like a bit where they're just like, hey, secret handshake, and they just shake hands. Like, there's just like these little bits and pieces. There's one bit where Joe Latrulio, who plays Boyle in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he was like chasing after one of the characters with a bike, and he comes back into the camp, and it's just obviously a different guy on the bike, and it cuts away to the girl, and it cuts back to him, and he's normal. It's just, I love spoofs like that, where they just kind of keep, you know, upping. But yeah, where they're just towing the line of how stupid they can get. The best bit, and one of my favorite bits in any comedy ever, is when they take like this hour trip into town because one of the characters has to go to the library, and like there's like a really funny bit where like one character's going to the library for science. It's like the science section. The other one's going to the section for camp counseling. It's just really dumb. But there's a bit where they're just like at this like halfway crack house, and they're all just coked out and just like doped out and just, you know, sores on their skin, like making it was just so dumb, and it just cracked me up. This is really funny, really fun, really great cast. Bradley Cooper's in this, Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler, Elizabeth Banks. Everybody's making out in this movie. Really, really funny. Like, just every corner, every aspect is just hilarious. I really loved it. Rewatch Raiders. I was gonna read my review of it. This, to me, is the premier action-adventure movie while also being an all-time favorite of mine. I've seen it dozens of times, and its charm never wears off. Spielberg is a benevolent camera god, and he is cracked out of his mind with some of these shots. The silhouette shot of Indy and Marion's bar, the sunset shot of the wells on The Well of Souls dig. Every frame is wonderfully composed. If you've not seen Soderbergh's edit of this film in black and white with only the Social Network score, I suggest you check it out. It really highlights Spielberg's mastery. Where a novice director would cut, Steve keeps on moving. This is Harrison Ford's best character. I love Han Solo and Frank Decker, but Indiana Jones is where all of his chops come together. Just a never-ending charisma inferno. I'm the chief Marion enjoyer. Karen Allen is a ball of energy, a gorgeous and magnetic performer. I love her chemistry with Harrison. It is a shame that she doesn't appear again in the original trilogy. Belloc is an incredibly fun antagonist. I love his rivalry with Indy. The opening temple chase is one of the most iconic scenes ever. The map room scene is enchanting. The Ark of the Covenant is a top 5 MacGuffin ever. I always have a huge smile on my face when the Nazis burn and melt upon witnessing his power. John Williams is the GOAT composer. While I hold special affinities for his work on Star Wars, there are some absolutely incredible tracks about his indie work. Raiders is simply the best. Yeah, I mean, it's like my 5th favorite movie ever. I love it. It's just awesome. I played the Lego games like a god as a kid. And it's just, I don't know, it's a mix of nostalgia and also just, leveling up as a movie watcher, just kind of just seeing the true mastery that this film is. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Go watch it. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead by Sidney Lumet. Ethan Hawke, Philip Seymour Hoffman. God, this made my skin crawl, made me want to throw up. I hated how much this made me feel. Their lives are terrible. Yeah, dude, this movie is just remarkably tense, and it just kind of keeps building and ramping up. I don't want to spoil it, but obviously, not obviously, but the premise is both these guys are kind of short for money, so they just devise a plan to rob their parents' jewelry store, and it just goes to shit. And then it's just kind of, it follows, each character has a little vignette about, the day of the robbery, a day before the robbery, a day after the robbery. Just kind of follows where these characters are kind of dissolving and kind of where they're at mentally and kind of where they're at, in relation to the robbery. I think it's just really smart. Both Ethan Hawke and Philip Seymour Hoffman gave great performances, but yeah, this made me want to throw up. I was just so, stressed out, but also just, I just hated seeing people live like this. It was just so, it was so, bleh. It was great, but it just made me feel terrible. It's on Prime. Rewatched American Psycho, an all-time favorite of mine. I'm just a happy camper, rocking and a-rolling. For as much as this is flipped and turned around in the cultural zeitgeist, in addition to the grip it has on the inept Sigma males, this is such an excellent comedy. Christian Bale delivers an excellent and nuanced performance as Patrick Bateman. Some of his deliveries kill me. The restraint, the explosive anger, the earnest remarks. Just an absolutely zany character. Also love the line it treads between it all being in his head or if it all really happened. Then you get the ridiculous physical gags, like the exploding police cars. Love Bale's look he gives to the gun, and the ATM that hungers for a stray cat. Just a genius satire and an all-timer for me. Yeah, I mean, this has been one of my favorite movies of all time for a while. I remember watching it a bunch with my brother a few years ago. It's just really funny. Christian Bale's hilarious. Just cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks. And he kind of has this inflection and this kind of roundness to his delivery that I think is just really fun. The business card scene, honestly, I think is probably the standout exchange. I could not believe Bryce prefers Van Patten's card to mine. And there's just this kind of sweeping kind of score that comes in. It just kind of sounds like wind and kind of just a burst of strings. Every time there's just kind of a twinge of a freak out from Bale. Really great underrated delivery for me is I'm on the verge of tears as we walk to our table because I fear that we won't have a good seat. It's something along those lines. He's just so nuts, and it's awesome. Christian Bale, one of the best actors of all time. I love this movie. It's awesome. The Insider by Michael Mann. Michael Mann is biggest bro, goddamn. He balances sleek and gritty so well. Pacino and Crow, goddamn man, charisma fireworks. Yeah, just a really tense film. Pacino kind of playing, he's obviously, he's very Pacino-y in this movie, but he does kind of tone it down a little bit, and I feel like Russell Crowe is given a chance to kind of, not a chance. Russell Crowe's a fantastic actor. I love him, but I feel like he feels like the lead in this to me. I think that's probably obviously the point, but it's kind of those two butting heads and going, with each other, going against each other. I thought that was just really fun. And yeah, I mean, Michael Mann, just the way his camera, the way his movies just look is just so, he has a very consistent look throughout all of his films, while also, finding ways to differentiate. But I love the blues throughout a lot of Michael Mann films. And I didn't pick up on this in Collateral or whatever Michael Mann. I've watched Collateral, maybe Manhunter, but that kind of buzzing, building, humming, kind of not sing-songy, but just a very it's Like, that kind of score was present in this and also Heat, which I thought was really fun. This was great. I really loved it. You should watch it. Watch The Lost World, Jurassic Park by Steven Spielberg. Goddamn, the dinos look cool in this. Not a lot of things more badass than a T-Rex in a city. Yeah, I thought they looked not a lot better, but better than they did in the first one. The T-Rexes especially, like they've seen when they're in like that little like med bay thing and they're trying to help the baby T-Rex, and there's the two T-Rexes kind of converging and like hitting against it. I thought they looked incredible in that. I think those were definitely practical. And then when they get to the city, obviously there is probably a mix of CGI, but I thought they looked really great. Goldblum was incredible again. Thought Vince Vaughn was really fun. Some really great chase sequences throughout. But yeah, I mean, the dinos just looked awesome in this. I love seeing a cool dinosaur. Finally watched Fight Club after like trying to watch it like 3 or 4 times over the last few weeks. So I just tried to watch it too sleepily, which is kind of funny because Ed Norton's character is an Insomniac. But I don't know how Fincher made this look like it came out in 2010. Really impressive camera stuff. Pitt is the man as always. Insane performance. Probably his most physical. Norton was great. Loved all the fourth wall stuff. Well edited, cool visuals, fun, classic. Finally off the watch list. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can say about this that hasn't been said. I gave it 4.5. I gave it 4 initially, but I was like, wait, this is definitely 4.5. I think I was kind of underselling it a little bit. But I mean, everybody, this is obviously, you know, held in such high esteem. I felt, you know, obviously this is, you know, joking online criticism. I felt at some points it did insist upon itself a little bit. Like there just some points that were a little too on the nose. Maybe that's just because this is where it all originated. So had I watched this, you know, when it came out in 99, I probably would have felt differently. But I don't know. I mean, it's still just a remarkable film. Some really just freaky camera stuff. Well edited. I mean, yeah, Pitt and Norton are incredible. Helena Bonham Carter was really great. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. Everybody loves Fight Club. King of New York by Abel Ferrara, who also did. None of these that really intrigue me. Maybe Bad Lieutenant? I don't know. Christopher Walken, Larry Fishburne, Giancarlo Esposito's in this as well. This is really fun. Yeah, I mean, Walken's just really cool in this. Just, you know, packing that iron. A really fun chase. The cops are really funny in this. Yeah, I mean, it's just really fun. I enjoyed it. Christopher Walken's great. It looked great. I kind of love, like, this is very, like, Escape from New York adjacent, just kind of how it was shot and how it looked. Like, honestly, I could believe that a lot of the things that happened with this character could have happened in the Escape from New York. Maybe, like, Escape from New York is very, like, apocalyptic, you know, like, dystopian, but, yeah, I thought this was really fun. Watch Weapons by Zach Cregger. Go see this, dude. I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much, but this was just absolutely ridiculous. It exceeded, it subverted, and it just kind of like went against everything that I thought was going on. And it's kind of like, you know, throughout the movie you're thinking that it's going one way and then it just goes whoop, 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 whoop. I was not expecting the vignette style storytelling, you know, between each of the characters, between Julie Gardner's character, Josh Brolin's character, Alden Ehrenreich's character, like just kind of a really cool, like I was just watching the big picture, and, you know, I remember Cregger talking about this a few months ago, but how it's, you know, a Magnolia-esque kind of storytelling style. But yeah, I mean, just go see this in theaters with a big crowd, because it's hilarious, and it really works, and it's one of my favorites of the year. I need to go see it again. Zach Cregger, man. I said him, Eggers, Peele, and Astor are the future. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see what those 4 alters end up doing over the next, you know, 10 to 15 years. And then finally, watched High and Low by Akira Kurosawa. Just an iconic movie, obviously with Highest to Lowest coming out soon by Spike Lee. I had to check this out. And yeah, it's just incredible. I was not expecting it to be, you know, a detective procedural. You know, the synopsis on HBO Max did not really, it just kind of tell me that a wealthy businessman is, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like his chauffeur's son is, you know, held to ransom and he has to, you know, battle with all that. But I was not expecting it to be a procedural. And it was just really fun. It was well shot. There's a really great bit where I don't know, you know, spoilers, the kidnapper burns the briefcase and this is a black and white film and then you get the pink smoke coming out of the chimney. I thought that was really charming. But yeah, High and Low. It's iconic. Classic Akira Kurosawa, one of the best directors of all time. And this is the first I've watched of his. I'm excited to watch more. Those are the movies I watched this week. Let me know what movies you watched this week in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.